Okay.
All right. So I'll call a special meeting to order. Is there any public comments regarding agenda items?
No.
All right. Our first order of business is sports medicine contract for the 2023-2024 school year. We have a recommendation. Do I have questions or comments?
So did anyone look into any other options besides just the Greene County Health and then Greene County? He wanted to say Daily World with the hospital. Like whatever her name was, Jewett. I knew that there was Shakamak went with the Wolf Pharmacy Company, so I didn't know if anyone had looked into that or if we were just going off those two options that you had.
Those were the only two options I came across. However, in trying to gather information or whatever that I sent to you, I was told that there's something with the contract that Greene County Hospital has for one more year, and after that, there's another organization in Greene County that wants to open this up. So there's a possibility to look at it again next year. So there will be at least one more option next year. But for right now, these are the two that I was given.
Any other questions or comments?
Did I understand right that Greene County would offer somebody as needed and Jewett would have somebody here always?
Yeah. I don't know if as needed's the right way to put it, but like scheduled. So they would be splitting with another school. I think it's Eastern Greene. We would split with, and then like they would come to, the biggest focus would be on our actual events, as opposed to with the other contract with Brandy Jewett. The person would be only focused on Bloomfield, only here, and be able to go to every practice. That doesn't mean they'd be at every event or every practice, because we do have 3 locations, especially in the spring. In the fall, we've got 2. In the winter, we've got 1, and in the spring, we've got 3 locations.
Definitely a lot more coverage.
But it would be on a daily basis. They would be somewhere for us.
Yes. Okay. One
A
of
lot more coverage.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question just about, liability for the school. If we do choose to go with Greene County Health and then we are presented with a situation where we don't have a trainer on site and something happens, is that going to be an issue?
Legally, we're not required to have a trainer at any of the events or on site. So my answer would be, I really don't think so. If we didn't have somebody, we'd treat it just like if something happened right now, we'd call 911 and have them send some responders.
So at the volleyball thing on Saturday, wasn't there a girl that got hurt from the other school? I thought I'd heard.
Our trainer was there, and I think that girl still played.
Yeah.
I think she got hurt in the warm-up,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually was asking the person that was sitting next to me if she came back out, because I was looking at the bleacher. I'm like, did she get taken away?
Mm-hmm.
And they said, no, it's that girl right there playing. So but
Okay.
we did have a trainer here on Saturday.
Okay.
Scott, what's your recommendation?
My recommendation is the same as Mr. Neal and Mr. Dean, because I spoke with them and worked through this all, and that would be to remain with Greene County Hospital for another year, and then late spring, early summer, look at each option in more detail and in more depth. But when you look at the cost, there's also a pretty big cost differential. And so Greene County Hospital has a grant as part of what covers the salaries that they pay. And they're also providing, they're also providing like the tape, the tables, tents, and they're providing all of that as part of their cost, versus the other contract with Brandy Jewett is solely for the athletic trainer and the cost that would go along with the athletic trainer. We would also then we would be buying the tables for them to work on, the athletes on, the tape, and other items that come up that are needed. So in my meeting with Mr. Neal and Mr. Dean, asking them background of all of this as well, that was their recommendation to me, and I agreed with it. So that would be my recommendation.
And part with the Greene County Hospital was also the sports physicals, correct?
The sports physicals were free, and we had, I think it was 172 or 176 students and families that didn't have to pay for a physical, and were able to get them done this spring right here in our school. And obviously the other contract, that wouldn't be part of it at all. So the parents would also have to pay for their own physicals and take, their child to their doctor, or find a clinic that would provide the physical. So it's really convenient when you think from an athletic standpoint, all the things that have to be done ahead of time. When you're getting that physical done on a specific date, as an athletic department, our coaches, our athletic director knew all these people got their physical done right then instead of the constant reminders. So that's a huge benefit to the families especially.
It's not very convenient if you have a player hurt and no one here to help them though. What's our contractual obligation to Greene County? I mean, you say that there's another year, or would there be a buyout if we went away from them?
There's not another year.
We would be, sorry.
They're asking for another year?
Well, they sent a contract for this year, but as you saw, like at the last board meeting, it was like 1 week before the board meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That's when we got the contract. And so that was part of the reason why I think you guys chose to table it. But we don't have a contract for this year with either of them. Now, they provided our athletic trainer in good faith up until tonight, and they want an answer tomorrow as to what you guys voted on. So
We do this every year. We approve, we've done this the last few years. So it's just a year-to-year contract. According to the contract, it can be broke by either party. They've given a 60-day notice with no financial obligation.
But we don't have to give them 60 days because you haven't approved the contract
No, I'm
yet.
saying if we did approve it.
Right,
Yeah,
but you also, we would pay for the last 2 weeks that they have covered. We would do like a prorated, rate for it. So if the vote is to go with the Jewett services, then we would pay Greene County for the 2 weeks.
so we go with the Jewett services. We have more coverage, but more coverage in person, but less coverage as far as the supplies and things that they would provide, plus the physicals and things of that nature.
Perks.
The perks. And then, or Greene County with less in-person coverage, but then the perks, I guess.
I know you had it in there at some point in time a while back, but
Sorry.
what is the cost difference?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to find.
I know going with Jewett is 36,000, and going with Greene County, it's broken down, by event, with is it 6,000 starting, and then there's the per event.
It's in consideration, pay the hospital $25 per student enrolled at school based off the official reported enrollment. The cost is $50 per athletic event covered will also be billed to the school for the athletic training services. This amount will serve as the compensation services. The mileage reimbursement will be paid at the rate of the IRS.
Basically, in my mind, it's just rounded to approximately 10,000. I think it's actually a little less than that, but
Probably,
basically 10,000 versus 36,000 plus supplies and tables and things.
Okay.
So 10 versus 40.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, if it's $25 a student, that's $20,500, just off of what we heard about enrollment.
9 to 12. Take 237 times 25.
When you're saying students,
That's 9 to 12 is
If
what
you're-
they told me.
you're looking at K through 12.
Right.
Yeah,
It's not covered.
So
it doesn't say
today,
that. It just says per student enrolled at school based off the official reported enrollment. It doesn't say 9 through 12. It just
It's a high
says,
school.
Back up here.
I don't think they've ever provided any services for elementary
Right.
schools.
so I had it, if you take 237 students, that's what we had today in the high school, multiply it by 25, and it's 5,925.
At the school, they're looking at junior, senior high school. When they're talking school, it's not going to state junior, senior high school. I mean, I see what he's saying.
I just.
Yeah.
So it's just not the kids enrolled in sports, it's the actual student
You know,
count.
include the school district, so we want to make sure that even at that rate, it's still $16,000 less.
plus $50 an event.
But if you look at this, it's only talking about high school games.
Middle school high. Yeah, I see.
It's only
Yeah,
high
yeah, yeah.
school games that
But
they.
here's the deal. They did all the elementary physicals. That wasn't just,
Was that
Middle
at a-
school and high
was that at a free? Was that at free?
Yes.
yes.
So we want to. Yeah.
They've charged us historically based on our high school enrollment.
I know it's not gonna be exact, but do we know what we paid this last year?
I don't have that with me here.
If
I
I
mean, I think it'd be similar, wouldn't it?
I think it was about cut in half when I did the math last month, because last time they billed it as a full-time trainer. And we had coverage for like 122 events. And I can't remember what I said in that text. And this one, it was like 56 or something events that they were scheduling us for.
I'm just, for me personally, regardless of whether it's the whole school or not, which it sounds like it's been the middle high school in the past, which without having because it wouldn't be hard to pull up the financials from the board agenda of the past, but I mean, I feel personally more comfortable with a business that does this versus just hiring somebody that's done it for a business and not having that, what you call the perks, those extra, the for the liability and all those things. But having the extra coverage would be nice and not sharing, but
What you're talking about, Chackamack using wolves, that's an individual. It's no different.
All right, any other additional questions or comments? All right, seeing none, we have a recommendation for the Greene County Hospital. Do I have a motion
I make a motion.
and do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor? And all opposed? All right, thank you. And now we have,
Did that pass or not?
it did,
Yeah.
5-2.
Okay.
Permission to advertise the 2024 budget, capital fund, capital project fund plan, and bus replacement plan. Do we have any questions or comments on that? this is just the permission to advertise. Seeing no questions, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? All right, thank you. And now, is there any board member comments and items for future agendas? Seeing none, our next meeting is August the what is it, Jessica?
31st.
31st at 6 o'clock here in the media center. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
I would like